Hello, Chillify channel owner. I'm ready to craft some compelling audio dramas for you. On the eve of the college entrance exam, Aunt Martha was staying at my place. She had prepared a guaranteed success, soup for my cousin, Lily, who was about to take her college entrance exam. My dear daughter, Aunt Martha beamed, your mother went to great lengths to find this secret recipe. Drink this potion, and I guarantee you'll ace the exam. Lily hesitated, nodding outwardly but secretly pulling me aside. Sarah, do you really think this potion works? I thought it was ridiculous, so I helped her pour the soup away. How can one drink a bowl of soup and ace an exam? The test is tomorrow. It's best not to eat anything strange. But Lily tattled on me to Aunt Martha, and when she failed the exam, Aunt Martha filled her head with the idea that it was all my fault. If you hadn't poured her potion away, who knows, she might have gotten into Tsinghua University by now. In her desperation, Lily dragged me with her, jumping from the high-rise building. Now I've been reborn, back to the night before the exam. I opened my eyes and found myself back to the day before the college entrance exam. Sarah, the exam is tomorrow, but I still don't understand this question. Can you explain it to me again? Lily's soft voice echoed in my ear. I looked up at her familiar face, momentarily stunned. Just a second ago, I saw her push me off the building and I died on impact. Yet here I was, back to a familiar moment in my memory. I didn't answer Lily. Instead, I ran my hands over my body. It wasn't a hallucination. I had truly been reborn. I was so overwhelmed I almost cried. Seeing my silence, Lily frowned and urged, Sarah, please explain the lesson to me. I was about to speak when Aunt Martha's voice cut me off. She walked over, happily carrying a steaming bowl of soup. My dear daughter, the exam is tomorrow. Your mother spent a lot of money to buy this special recipe. Drink this and you're guaranteed to get high marks. Lily said nothing, only sneaking a timid glance at me, as if pleading for help. In my previous life, whenever she had this expression, I would feel sorry for her and help her refuse. Our house was near the exam center, so Aunt Martha had brought Lily to stay with us for convenience. Aunt Martha's domineering personality made Lily timid. Whenever she didn't want to do something Aunt Martha wished, she would seek my help. That's why, in my previous life, when she told me about this, I readily poured the soup away. I never imagined she would later blame her exam failure entirely on me. Forced into an arranged marriage by Aunt Martha and too scared to resist, she dragged me down with her just for a well-intentioned reminder. I suffered a tragic end, the sensation of falling from a great height and hitting the concrete pavement, a soul-wrenching pain. Even now, the memory made my body tremble. I looked down at the job application in my hand, paying no attention to their conversation. But my body still trembled from the pain of memory. Seeing my lack of reaction, Lily grew anxious. Sarah, are you listening? Even though she was educated, she still hesitated about this matter, not blindly superstitious like Aunt Martha. I suppressed the disgust in my heart, looked up, and calmly met her gaze. Yes, I heard. So what? Do you think there's anything wrong with what Mom said? No, nothing's wrong, but what? If there's no problem, then drink it. Lily was always like this, timid and stammering, never daring to finish a sentence, always hoping others would understand and help her. Now, I no longer cared. Aunt Martha, seeing that no one was touching the potion after standing there for so long, lost her patience. Drink it quickly. I'm your mother, why would I lie to you? So many people have drunk it and said it works. Lily trembled as she took the bowl, constantly glancing at me. Yes, Mom, but the soup is too hot. You go back to your work first, I'll drink it later. Aunt Martha mumbled as she walked away. Remember to drink it. It costs so much money, don't waste it. After Aunt Martha left, Lily remained silent for a long time. I picked up my bag, intending to go out for work. Seeing me about to leave, Lily couldn't hold back anymore and quickly stopped me. Sarah, is this potion really okay? I rolled my eyes, annoyed. How would I know if there's a problem? You can ask your mom. How could your mom harm you? Even if I said something, I knew she wouldn't believe it. Lily bit her lip, flustered, tugging at my sleeve. But I don't think this potion will work. What if something happens after I drink it and I can't take the exam? She tried to shrink into herself, looking both harmless and pathetic. In my previous life, I was truly deceived by this act, leading to a tragic end. This time, I turned and walked away, ignoring her pleas. If you don't think it works, then don't drink it, or tell your mom directly. After work, I carried the takeout I'd ordered to the door. Opening it, I immediately saw an unpleasant scene. Lily sat on the chair, clutching her stomach, while Aunt Martha paced back and forth, grumbling incessantly. How could it be because of the potion? So many people drink it and are fine. Why do you have a stomach ache? You must have eaten something random. Hearing me open the door, both of them immediately turned their heads. Aunt Martha instantly leaped up as if she had found the culprit. Why are you just getting back? Do you know we're starving? And you cook carelessly, making my daughter's stomach hurt. If she doesn't do well on the exam, it's all your fault. Aunt Martha had always been like that, never thinking she had a problem, always finding someone to vent her anger on, never reflecting on herself. Before, I had strongly opposed Aunt Martha and Lily staying at my house to study for the exam, but my mother had persuaded me. Their family, after all, and the college entrance exam is very important. Help them out a bit. In the end, I reluctantly agreed. But from the moment they moved in, they acted as if they owned the place. They even waited for me to cook before eating. Not wanting to affect Lily's exam, I always put up with it. But today, all the accumulated resentment, along with the memories of my past life, made me explode. Why are you talking so much? If you want to eat, cook it yourself. If you don't cook, then starve. Am I your family's maid? Do I have to do everything for you? My sudden resistance stunned Aunt Martha. I didn't bother to pay attention, picked up my takeout box, and headed straight to my room. It wasn't until I was almost in my room that Aunt Martha reacted, angrily scolding, "You damned brat. Do you think I want to stay here? If your mother hadn't begged me, I would have stayed at a hotel comfortably. Who wants to put up with this?" Even though I was mentally prepared, Aunt Martha's shamelessness still shocked me. Before closing the door, I retorted without ceremony, "Then Aunt Martha should go to a hotel. It'll save everyone a lot of trouble." I lay on my bed, sipping soda and eating spicy braised pork. Each bite of meat, each gulp of soda was so spicy my tongue went numb. Remembering Aunt Martha and Lily outside, furious and helpless, I felt incredibly refreshed. I always loved spicy food, but in my previous life, to take care of Lily's health, I had abstained for years. Now there was no need to hold back. Eating was truly too enjoyable. I was halfway through my meal when I heard a knock on the door. Before I could open it, Lily poked half her head in. "Sarah, are you really not cooking?" I chuckled. "Didn't your mom say I cooked carelessly and made your stomach hurt? Then let her cook it herself." Lily blinked a few times, her voice whining. "That's what Mom said, but if you don't cook, what will I eat now?" I pouted. "How would I know what you'll eat?" With that, I slammed the door shut, locking her outside. But she wouldn't give up, continuing to knock. "Sarah, don't be angry anymore. Please cook, I'm so hungry." I ignored her, turned up the music to the loudest volume, and continued to enjoy my meal. Not long after, my mother called. "My dear, your cousin just called me, sobbing and mumbling, but she couldn't explain clearly, only kept saying she was hungry. Please cook something for her. The exam is coming up, don't let her starve." I sighed, scratched my head, thought for a moment, and then calmly replied, "Mom, I've been cooking for them every day these past few days. But today, Aunt Martha said I cooked carelessly and made her stomach hurt. I'm afraid of being blamed again, so I don't dare to cook anymore. As for food, it's still in the refrigerator. If they want to eat, they can take it out and cook it themselves. I won't stop them." Mom listened in silence for a long time. In the end, she didn't try to persuade me further, only leaving me with a single sentence. "Remember to take care of yourself, don't let others take advantage of you." Hearing my response in English, Mom immediately hung up. As soon as the call ended, a series of chaotic sounds erupted outside. I went to check and saw Lily standing in front of the stove, one hand holding a spatula, the other holding a broken eggshell, the yolk splattered on the floor. Aunt Martha was nowhere to be seen. She had probably gone out to dance in the square. Seeing me, Lily immediately began her act. "Oh, Sarah, why are you out here? Did I make too much noise and disturb you?" I really wanted to cook a decent meal, but I'm just too clumsy, and it turned out like this. I waved my hand, indicating it was fine, and casually opened the refrigerator to get some ice cream. Lily's smile almost overflowed her face, her spirits visibly lifted. "Oh, Sarah, you don't have to. I can do it myself. Why bother you?" But when she saw the ice cream carton in my hand, her smile immediately stiffened. I sat down at the dining table, watching her slowly finish cooking dinner, then carried a bowl of noodles to place in front of me. Lily sat down opposite me and finally couldn't hold back. "Sarah, I think my stomach ache wasn't because of your food. It was probably because of the potion Mom gave me. I don't know what to do." Her round, doe-like eyes glistened with anticipation, looking at me, waiting for me to speak. I had to admit, Lily was very clever. From her expression to her actions, everything was perfect, not a single flaw, but I didn't fall for it. I dug into my ice cream, indifferently replying, "So, what do you think?" Seeing that I wasn't taking the bait, Lily continued her act. "I don't know either. What if I get a stomach ache during the exam tomorrow, but Mom wants me to keep drinking it?" The hint was so clear. If I didn't respond, it would be rude. But luckily, I was a very rude girl. I casually said, "So what? Maybe this potion really works. Maybe its effect is to cleanse your intestines, helping you take the exam with a clear head and write like a god." Lily finally lost patience. In just one day, I had shut her down too many times. She completely lost her composure, tearing away her obedient facade. "What kind of potion has a side effect of stomach ache? Are you stupid, Sarah? I've hinted so much, why don't you understand? I don't want to drink it anymore. Go tell Mom, tell her I told you not to drink it." She thought this irritable tone would make me give in, but I didn't care at all. "Why should I help you say it?" "What does it have to do with me?" She clenched her fists, so angry she abandoned the bowl of noodles in front of her. "Because you're my sister, because I'm staying at your house, you have to take care of your guests. Go quickly, you're so annoying." Now she looked exactly like Aunt Martha when she was throwing a fit. I was too lazy to pay attention, turned and went back to my room for a good night's sleep. Not long after, I was woken by loud banging on the door. It was Aunt Martha. "You damned brat, you actually dared not cook for my daughter? Do you want to starve her? Today I'm going to teach you a lesson." I opened the door, Aunt Martha's angry face right before me. "Why should I cook for her, only to be blamed by you all?" "What kind of talk is that, you little girl? We're staying at your house, don't you know how to treat guests? Is that what your mother taught you?" At least my mother didn't teach me to be so disrespectful in someone else's house. Aunt Martha continued aggressively, "I'm your elder, you must listen to me. Wake up early tomorrow and cook chicken stew for your cousin to drink before the exam." Not bothering to hear my response, Aunt Martha turned and walked away. I grabbed her shirt, a cold smile on my lips. "Dream on. Tomorrow, if you dare to wake me up, I'll pour your miracle potion down the toilet for the fish to have for breakfast." The next morning, I had a good night's sleep. When I went downstairs, Lily had already packed her things and was ready to leave. Aunt Martha emerged from the kitchen, clutching the bowl of potion tightly in her hand. Seeing me, she gripped it even tighter, as if afraid I would snatch it away. "My daughter, drink this, then go take the exam. I guarantee you'll get high marks." Lily glanced at me with fearful eyes. I stood with my arms crossed, leaning against the staircase, smiling, waiting to see what she would do next. Seeing that I wouldn't help her, Lily had to speak up herself. "Mom, I don't really want to drink it. If I drink it and have to run to the restroom, won't I lose time on the exam?" Aunt Martha immediately shoved the potion into her hands. "No, if you don't drink it, how will you get high marks?" Lily frowned, but in the end, she had to drink it, glaring at me with resentment. I stirred my glass of soy milk with a spoon, casually saying, "Oh, so you can talk. I thought you were mute all this time." Lily's eyes widened. "What nonsense are you talking about, Sarah?" I pretended to be innocent. "Oh, I was just talking about a novel I just read. Did you think I was talking about you? I didn't realize you'd admit to being mute." Lily choked, so angry she gasped for breath like a defeated fighting rooster. Aunt Martha nudged Lily, annoyed. "Don't mind her. She's been a bit crazy lately, probably drank the wrong medicine." Seeing it was almost time for the exam, Aunt Martha opened the door and turned to me, yelling, "Still eating? Hurry up and drive us to the exam center." Last time, I had reminded them to book a car in advance, but on exam day, Aunt Martha forced me to drive them. The college entrance exam was important, so I had to put my work on hold to take them. As a result, the road was jammed and we almost missed the exam. Aunt Martha scolded me nonstop the whole way, saying, "You woke up late and didn't listen. Now look, if my daughter is late and can't take the exam, it's all your fault." Not only was I scolded, but I also arrived late to work and had my bonus deducted. This time, I boldly took a fried dough stick and chewed it noisily. "My car ran out of gas. You guys go yourselves. I told you to book a car in advance." Aunt Martha glared. "If your car ran out of gas, how do you get to work?" "Oh, so they know I have to go to work." I gave a cold laugh. "I ride my bicycle. The traffic is really bad today." Lily panicked, taking a step forward. "Then you won't take us. How will we get to the exam center?" "Take the bus or call a taxi. I told you to prepare in advance, didn't I?" The two women froze, almost lunging at me to argue. I glanced at my watch, my voice indifferent. "If you don't leave quickly, you'll be late." They realized there was no more time to argue, quickly put on their shoes, and rushed out. Before leaving, they didn't forget to give me a resentful glare. I knew these two would cause trouble during the exam days, so I decisively went to stay at a friend's house for 2 days. Sure enough, not long after I left, Lily sent a text message. Yesterday, in the exam room, I had a stomach ache. It's all your fault for not telling Mom, ruining me like this. You evil person, why don't you just die? I was too lazy to reply. Mental illness, only bullying the weak. My relationship with her was no different from the story of the farmer and the snake. I swiped my finger and blocked her number. After that, she tried to contact me via phone and other apps, but the messages were all foul and extremely unpleasant. I casually blocked all her accounts. Finally, I had a few quiet days. After returning home, as soon as I reached the door, I immediately heard Aunt Martha's curses. My potion couldn't have been useless. You just don't have good luck. You want to retake the exam? You'd better obediently get married. Look how good Mr. Williams's conditions are. He gives you tens of thousands every month. And there's your brother's wedding money too. You get married, and we can use the bride price for him. I changed my slippers and opened the door. Aunt Martha was screaming next to the sofa, while Lily sat sobbing on the chair. Mom, I don't want to marry him. On the sofa, there was a man whose lower body was hidden by the chair. I only saw a round head with thinning hair. The man stirred, his hoarse voice ringing out, "If you don't get married, where will I get money for my wedding? I need to get married too, you know. You're a girl. If you can't go to college, you should know how to use your looks to make money. After you're 20, who else will want to marry you?" This person was Lily's brother, Daniel, and Aunt Martha's son. Seeing me walk in, all three stopped arguing. Lily suddenly lunged at me, raising her hand to slap me. I quickly dodged aside. She lost her balance and fell flat on her face. She crawled up, screaming frantically, "It's all this wicked woman's fault. If it weren't for you, how could I have done so poorly on the exam? If it weren't for you, how could I be forced into marriage?" As if remembering something, she turned to Aunt Martha. "She's not married yet either. Let her marry him instead of me. After all, everything is her fault. She's also old enough to get married." My eyes widened, speechless to the point of almost rolling them back. "What does that have to do with me? You're done with your exam, so move out of my house." Lily defiantly retorted, "Why should we leave? We haven't settled accounts yet." I nodded. "You're right, there's something we haven't settled. You two have been staying at my house for 6 days. If you had stayed at a hotel, it would be 500 yuan a night, not including food. Remember to transfer the money to my Alipay." The three immediately stiffened, pretending not to hear. Aunt Martha mumbled, "Asking money from relatives who are staying for a few days? You're obsessed with money." With that, Aunt Martha dragged her 2 children out of my sight. I returned to my bedroom, but when I opened the door, a disgusting scene greeted me. My belongings were rummaged through, underwear was scattered everywhere, and the room reeked of an unpleasant odor. On the bed, men's clothes were carelessly thrown. My hands trembled with anger. Someone was in my room. Aunt Martha slowly walked over, her face devoid of emotion. "What's the big deal? Your brother only has a living room. What's wrong with him sleeping in your room? Have you ever seen a man go into a girl's room and mess it up like this? I locked the door before I left." Aunt Martha sneered, "Your rickety door, a locksmith can open it easily." I was so furious I couldn't speak, my whole body trembling. "Who gave you permission to touch my things? Get out of my house right now. I'm calling the police." Aunt Martha's eyes bulged. "Calling the police for what? It's nothing major. We're family. What can't be resolved?" "I don't want anything to do with you anymore. Get out." My voice was so loud that Lily and Daniel also came running to see. Daniel, with his cunning, squinted eyes, sneered, "You're making such a fuss over nothing. Little sister, show your brother some respect. It's a small matter." His infuriating confidence made me nauseous. "Is your face worth respecting? A man over 30, freeloading, unemployed, useless, and looking so filthy. Who do you think you are?" Daniel's face flushed with anger. He lunged, grabbing my hair, hitting and cursing me. "How dare you insult me, you spoiled brat?" I raised my arm to cover my head, my other hand dialing the police. Seeing this, Aunt Martha began to panic, quickly pulling him away. Stop. It's just a misunderstanding. Your brother has a hot temper, but he doesn't mean any harm." I spoke coldly. "I don't care if his nature is good or bad. All I know is that today he's going to the police station." Daniel was still yelling, "Mom, didn't you hear what she said? So what if I hit her?" At this moment, Lily suddenly snatched a slipper and hit Daniel several times. Brother, if you hit her like that, how will you prove that you hit her? People will only see slipper marks on your body. Won't they think you two hit each other? I subtly curled my lip, glancing down at my and Lily's feet. Indeed, the slippers were identical. But I then looked towards the corner of the wall where my mother had installed a surveillance camera for me. The police arrived in just 30 minutes. I was about to speak when Lily quickly cut me off. Officer, I'm so sorry. My brother and sister just had a family dispute. My sister couldn't fight him, so she called the police. I immediately interrupted. No, this isn't a fight. He trespassed into my room, vandalized my belongings, and even assaulted me. The officer looked at me, then at Daniel, who still had slipper marks on him. Do you have evidence? If not, this is just a normal altercation. Hearing this, Daniel and the two women exchanged triumphant glances, thinking they would get away with it. I let out a cold snort, took out my laptop, and opened the video from the surveillance camera. In the video, Daniel was seen taking my clothes from my room, even sniffing them with a perverted expression. The police looked visibly disgusted. As the video continued, it recorded him cursing and hitting me. Everyone's expression changed. Daniel still stubbornly insisted, I'm the man of the house, so what if I discipline my sister? The officer gave him no chance to explain, immediately handcuffed him, and led him away. I spoke up again. Officers, these people deliberately occupied my house and refused to leave. Not to mention, Daniel also damaged many of my belongings. The total damage amounts to tens of thousands of yuan. The officer said sternly, We will handle this according to regulations. I followed them to the police station to give my statement. Aunt Martha, not expecting me to be so resolute, kept murmuring in my ear, My dear, how can you be so heartless? These are your relatives. Aunt Martha sighed, changing her tone to a gentle one. You really don't have to do this. I apologize on Daniel's behalf. Please forgive him. I ignored her. At the police station, Daniel was still furious, constantly smashing things on the table and yelling, So what if I hit my sister? By what right do you arrest me? Are you all crazy? He even pointed at a female officer and yelled, Hey, you little girl, go pour me some water, quickly. The officer tried to stop him, but he lunged and attacked her. That was it. Not only property invasion and assault, but now resisting arrest. He was immediately sent to a detention center that very day. I was safely escorted home by the police. Aunt Martha and Lily were also kicked out of the house. The next morning, I dragged myself out of bed, my body aching. I had been cleaning my room until midnight yesterday. As soon as I opened my phone, I saw a missed call from my best friend, accompanied by a text message. Wake up now, check the news. I opened the app to check the news and was immediately struck by a video on the trending topics. Aunt Martha and Lily were sitting on a free bus for college exam candidates. The driver's enthusiastic voice rang out, It's a good thing this bus is here. Otherwise, how would you two make it to the exam center on time? Aunt Martha immediately put on a helpless and pitiful expression, seizing the opportunity to complain. Don't even mention it. We specifically stayed at a relative's house for the college exam, but she intentionally refused to drive us. She even used up all the gas so she wouldn't have to pick us up. Tell me, what should one do when they have relatives like that? Video abruptly paused. Public opinion was divided. Some blindly believed Aunt Martha's words. If it were me, even if I was busy with work, I would have driven them to the exam center. This is important. This older sister is truly too much. But most were clear-headed. Wait a minute, does that mean they stayed at someone else's house for free, and then on exam day, they expected that person to skip work to drive them? Wasn't that a work day? The homeowner also has a job. The exam is important, but they demand a private car. Aren't they afraid of traffic jams? I might sound crude, but isn't it true that no one is responsible for taking care of you? Below the video, the system showed that the event was being live-streamed. I clicked to watch. On the screen, Lily stood before the camera, her face full of tears, sobbing like a wilting flower drenched in rain. My sister not only refused to drive me to the exam, but also intentionally made me have a stomach ache, preventing me from concentrating on the exam. In the comments section, some people began to waver. Wait, if she intentionally sabotaged someone's exam, that's really too much. That's a bit cruel. But unfortunately, Lily's act wasn't finished before it was interrupted. The camera suddenly shook and a crashing sound rang out. Aunt Martha's frantic voice emerged from the distance. You worthless girl, you won't go to work but stand here acting? Your brother is still in prison, and you're not worried about saving him, but you're crying nonsense here, and you dare say my high-scoring potion had a problem? Do you want a beating? No need for me to explain, netizens immediately understood the issue. So, it was her and her mother playing tricks. Who exactly is the one intentionally harming the exam taker? Disgusting. This mother and daughter are truly the farmer and the snake in real life. I was going to defend them at first, but no. Both stupid and evil cannot be forgiven. Lily was immediately hit with a backlash, but before I could watch further, I saw that Lily's account had been locked. The reason? Netizens discovered that she had enabled the monetization function on the video platform and was constantly attacking viewers, cursing at anyone who disagreed. As a result, she was reported and permanently banned. From then on, Lily completely disappeared from social media. I turned off my phone, my body heavy with fatigue, and headed home. But as soon as I reached the door, I immediately realized something was wrong. As a girl living alone, I always kept my slippers neatly in a fixed position, but now their position had changed. Not only that, the arrangement was unusually messy. Clearly, someone had touched them. The house was still dark, but I sensed someone inside. I opened my phone and connected to the indoor surveillance camera, but all the main cameras were covered. I couldn't see anything, but I could still hear sounds from inside. Lily's charming voice echoed, "Brother, let me tell you, my sister is really pretty, even prettier than me, and she's rich too." A man's voice rang out, greedy. "Really? You're already so beautiful. Can your sister be even prettier than you?" Although I couldn't see the image, I could imagine his lustful eyes sweeping over Lily. Lily chuckled, her voice full of seduction. "Of course. If you charm my sister, you won't have to worry about food or clothes ever again." The two laughed, completely unaware that their entire conversation was being overheard by me. I felt both lucky and terrified. If I hadn't been vigilant, perhaps tonight I really would have been harmed by them. Without hesitation, I called the police. When the police saw me again, they were a bit shocked but also somewhat understanding. "Another intruder at your house? Still the same person from last time?" I shook my head. "It's him again, but not just him." I showed the police the audio recording from the surveillance camera. Even the police were surprised by their shamelessness. "Don't worry, we'll handle this." The two inside the house were still laughing and joking when they were handcuffed on the spot before they could even react. I recognized the man. He was a hooligan from the neighboring village, known for theft and extortion since childhood, having been in and out of prison many times. Seeing the police, he immediately slumped to the ground in a panic, pointing at Lily. "It wasn't me. She led me in here. I didn't want to. It was all her temptation." Lily immediately turned red-eyed, tears streaming down her face, looking utterly pathetic. But the police had watched the entire recording. No one believed her. Knowing she couldn't act any longer, Lily suddenly erupted in madness. "It's true, I can't stand it. You're still living so well while I'm miserable. If you hadn't stopped me from drinking that potion, maybe I wouldn't be in this situation. I wouldn't have to get married. Why are you still free, not having to get married, not needing a dowry, while I have to marry someone I don't love?" Her hair was disheveled, her eyes full of madness, her voice hoarse from screaming. I sighed, speaking dispassionately. "Do you really believe that Aunt Martha spent a fortune buying a miracle potion to help you pass the exam?" Lily suddenly froze, her face pale. I looked down at her, my voice slow. "You know, after I died, I was stuck and witnessed everything. Aunt Martha never bought any potion to help you improve your scores. That potion was just water mixed with E. coli bacteria, the kind that causes severe diarrhea." Lily was stunned. "That's why Aunt Martha never let me touch the potion, because I was never her target. In my previous life, after I died, I heard Aunt Martha tell the neighbors, 'It's a shame that girl didn't drink the potion. But she failed college anyway. It's just a pity she dragged her sister down with her.' I sneered. Aunt Martha once thought of using you to get a bride price, but in the end, she decided to make more money by selling your body for an underworld marriage. Aunt Martha even went to my mother to propose a ghost marriage for me, but my mother flatly refused. My mother screamed at Aunt Martha, 'If it weren't for you, my daughter wouldn't have died. I haven't even avenged her yet, and you dare to propose such a disgusting thing?' I recalled the image of my mother standing before Aunt Martha, crying until she was numb. I tried to reach out and wipe my mother's tears, but my hand just passed through the air. My memory returned to the present. Lily sat on the floor, tears streaming down but unable to fall. "No, no way, Mom just doesn't love me as much as my brother. She wouldn't treat me like that." The police took both of them away, but because they hadn't caused any serious harm yet, Lily was only detained for a few days. After being released from prison, Lily completely changed. She no longer screamed, "I don't want to get married," nor did she dream of retaking the college exam. She obediently listened to Aunt Martha, agreeing to get married under her mother's coercion. I attended the wedding. Lily wore a magnificent wedding dress, but her husband was over 50 years old. Suddenly, she smiled gently at me. "Sarah, the exam is tomorrow. Can you explain this lesson to me again?" The words were exactly the same as that year. I froze. The very next second, Lily took a knife and slashed across her throat. Blood splattered, staining her wedding dress crimson. She looked up at me, a satisfied smile on her face. In that moment, I read in her eyes, despair, release, but no regret. She wanted me to regret, wanted me to suffer. I gave a cold sneer, turned my back, and left the bloody wedding. Lily thought that by dying, she could punish me, but she didn't know that I had already died once. Relying on others for gain only leads to self-destruction. Only those who save themselves can be helped by heaven, and Lily, all her life, never learned that.